Hi there, it's Hanna from Dazzling Books, and today I'm coming at you with the book tag. Yes, for the first time in forever, I'm doing a book tag again, and it's timely because this book tag is, as the title suggests, is the end of year book tag. It's November, so the end of year is approaching, and there are still so many books that I'm excited about, so many books that I still need to read, and this video is just perfect to talk about them. So without further ado, let's just get into the questions. Question number 1, are there books that you started at the start of the year or earlier this year that you still need to finish? Oh boy, yes, but I don't know if I'm gonna finish them this month or next month, maybe next year. And those books are, hold on, I have one right here. It is I Am My Own Home and Other Essays by Isyana Artarini, and this is a documentation of what it means to be a 30-something Indonesian woman who lives alone and along with the contentment and the loneliness that goes with it. I read the first 1 or 2 essays and really enjoyed it, and the reason why I haven't finished it yet is because I feel like with these essays I should savor them and not try to read as much as I can and as fast as I can. So there is like no guilt whatsoever that I haven't finished this yet. If there is a right time for it, or if there is a longing for this type of book, then I can reach this book because I still have a lot to discover from this book. The other book is Muse of Nightmare by Laini Taylor, which is the sequel to Strange the Dreamer, which I loved so much. And this one I haven't read yet because Strange the Dreamer required a lot of my energy and my attention. It's that kind of book, and I just assumed that Muse of Nightmare is the same thing. So there hasn't been a time where I can just immerse myself in a book of that kind, and maybe at the end of this year there will be time for that. But if there isn't, honestly, I'm fine with pushing it back to next year. The other book that haven't finished yet is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I tried to pick this book up a couple of times throughout the year, but I just stopped reading it. And it wasn't even because of the writing was bad, because Adam Silvera's writing is good and the premise of this book was good. I don't know why, it just never happened. So there's that book, and that's the kind of book that I'm also like, sure, if I have time I'll read it, and I'm sure I will enjoy it, but if not, then just I'll put it to my TBR next year. The next question is, do you have an autumnal read that you have kept and like prepared that will transition you to the winter time or like the end of the year? Hi, just a little disclaimer here, I'm going to pronounce Beard With Me very wrongly for the rest of this video. It just came out as Beard With Me, and her other title was also impacted by this. Don't hate me too much for it, and I hope you still enjoy the rest of this video. Bye. There's no winter time or like autumn because I'm in Indonesia, obviously, and so as somebody who has never experienced it, in my mind an autumnal read is something that when I read it, it will give me kind of similar feel to when I listen to Taylor Swift Red album. Beard With Me and Bared Necessities by Penny Reeds are my reads, and I've been following the series throughout this year, and so I'm just really excited for them. One book is gonna be my heartbreak, and one book is gonna be the balm for that, and like the one that will lift me up, and I just want those books back to back. So I'm just waiting for the next one to be published, and I will devour both of them, probably in like 2 sittings or something. I feel like that's gonna happen. The next question is, are there still any releases that you're looking forward to for the end of this year? Yes, there are so many releases. Ninth House, Find Me, Call Down the Hog by Maggie Stiefvater, which is the spin-off series for the Raven Boys. In Call Down the Hog, it follows Ronan Lynch. Love characters from the Raven Boys, so I've been really waiting for this. And every single book that I just mentioned is the answer to the next question, which is, what are the 3 books that you want to read at the end of this year? So I guess I have more than 3. Like I've mentioned, it's Find Me, Call Down the Hog, Ninth House, and Bared Necessities, along with the previous book before that, which I haven't read yet, which is bear it with me. So that's 5 books that I'm really excited to read. Next question is there any book that you think can still shock you to become your most favorite book of the year? And for that, yes, I do have a lot of hopes. I have a lot of contenders. I'm just coming back to the same books. It can be Find Me, and it can be Call Down the Hawk. It can be Ninth House by Lee Bardugo. The last question for this video is, have you made any reading plans for 2020? For me, I have quite a steady goal every year, which is to read 50 books. And it's like, oh, if every year is not increasing, is it a challenge? Yes it is, because the way I see it is that every year brings a different kind of schedule or a different set of events and opportunities that are gonna come. So I'd rather not burden myself with like increasing the quantity of the books that I read. It's more of, can I read and find 50 good books? For the past 5 years, since like I decidedly become an avid reader, it's been a really good number and really good challenge. And I think for next year, because I'm in Jakarta, there are a lot of people that I can talk to and like get recommendations from. So one of the things that I want to do next year is to read more local books, interesting ones, popular ones. The next one is to read more adult contemporary books and maybe read some classics. And then the last one is to read more fantasy books. I look back to the books that I read in 2014 and I loved the amount of YA fantasy books that I read, and I still remember like how much I love reading them. So this year there haven't been much of that, and I want to again discover or rediscover some of the fantasy books and just immerse myself and like escape from this world to this other worlds that this author built. There are already many books that are on my list of to be read for next year, but I'm still open to even more book recommendation, because the thing with us reader and TBR is that even though there is almost a sense of urgency in the title to be read pile, like to be read, but we all know that we treat it like bucket list. The to be read pile is not like to be read in a month or to be read in a year. It's like to be read ... when I can ... if I want ... in the future. And the deadline or like the expiry for that list is when we die. So that's okay. I just look at it optimistically, like an assumption that I will always be a reader and that I will always find time to read those books, and I think that's beautiful. So there is no shame for me to have a lot of books that I want to read, and I think that you should too. Like, erase the shame and just keep piling on. Be mindful of it, but it's okay to keep piling on that. So because it's a book tag, even though I wasn't tagged by anybody, I'm going to tag people in this video. First, Aya Sophia. Second, the Cozy Library. And the third one is a new booktuber that I just discovered, and her name is Dea from Bookends. I'm looking forward to your video. I should just go and read now, or maybe sleep because it's actually midnight. Anyway, thank you so much for making it to this part of the video. I appreciate your time and energy. And if you want to reach me, I am available through Instagram. Like, I'm available through Instagram, but like I can be reached by Instagram other than this YouTube comment section is what I meant. And yeah, if you still have time, I have a few videos that I want to recommend after this. So happy reading and keep watching.